This video here is going to be a detailed install tutorial for the Rove R3 Dash Cam. If you want to see a full install tutorial where I go through every bit and piece, such as the hardwire kit and all of the other accessories, I'll have that linked below. But this is just the install tutorial. If you are setting this up for yourself, I would recommend setting up everything, just plugging it in and connecting to the app inside where you're not in an awkward place, because like you have to get to the serial number, which is on the bottom of this. It's a lot easier if you're doing that at like a table, a desk, or something where it's not mounted like this. It's a lot easier to get to that serial number. So when you're setting up the app, it does need the serial number that's on the bottom of this to set that up. One more thing I ran into is I didn't have the rear camera connected when I did the initial setup. So when I connected the rear camera, it deleted it from my app and I had to re-add it in the app. Grab your manual. If you're reading the manual, this will tell you everything that I'm teaching you in this video today, but I am not a reader, so go ahead and grab your manual just to get the QR code so you can download the app. The app will look like this right here, Rove Dash Cam app, and then we'll go ahead and hit install. Alright, so once you've created your account and logged in, it'll take you to this place where there should be no devices, unless you already have your dash cameras hooked up here. So you can hit add new device, and then make sure your Wi-Fi is turned on. This is our dash cam touchscreen. To turn on your Wi-Fi, you can tap here and then you can just turn on Wi-Fi, but you'll need your Wi-Fi password the first time. So go into your settings gear here.
Video settings.
And then click on the gear in the bottom left.
System settings.
And then click on Wi-Fi. And then always on. And then this page will give you the password for your Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is on.
You'll find the Rove R3F and then put in the password. The default password is just 1234567 And then, so now that we've connected to the Rove Dash Cam Wi-Fi, we say go to next. It says going connected to your dash cam. Shiny new one. And now it wants the serial number. And once you've put in your serial number, it'll take you to this page here where you can double check all of the information about your device, and then it looks like it's due for a firmware update, so we can click on update firmware. Alright, so after doing the firmware update, that fixed a lot of the issues I was having. I was getting a corrupt or defective SD card error, and I was like, well, that's Rove's SD card. There we go. It says memory card defective. It's literally Rove's memory card. There's no reason it shouldn't be working. It turns out you had to format it, but once the firmware is updated, it knows that it needs to format that SD card. It'll then take you like through time and date settings and whatnot. So we set it up for our time zone, the time and date that it is here, and everything like that. All right, I'm going to do this section in two parts. The first one is going to be the traditional install method, where we install the cameras connected to the traditional cigarette lighter power plug output port there that most cars have. And then in the second part, I'll show you how to install the hardwire kit or connect it all into that so that it can have constant power. All right, first thing we want to do is clean the glass where we're going to install our dash camera. So just get some generic glass cleaner here, and then a microfiber towel. That'll be great. And if you want the quickest method, you can go straight for the suction cup here. You'll just connect that up here and then attach your dash camera here like that. And then right here, I don't know if you can see that, but this is a lock. And so what it actually does is it swings left and right to release and pull the suction cup. You see that? So you can just stick it on there and twist it down. I haven't removed the film from that because I do want to keep this in good condition. However, I am going to use the electrostatic film that this guy comes with. The side that sticks to our tag comes off, and then this guy goes on here like this. And then it'll be best if we can have power to our camera when we go to get this lined up. So let's go ahead and give us power. You can see right here, it has this little dotted line here. It says stick the main Rove 3 camera here. So this little dotted area, this is a good place to stick the 3M adhesive from your camera on. So we'll peel off our 3M film here and stick it on as square and as straight as we can. Just like that. Now we're all set up for the camera wise. Now it's time to run our power cable here. I would start here and work your way around. There we go. And then, man, that little magnetic feature is kind of nice. I don't know how much I'm going to use that, but it'll be really nice. Next, we'll take our little clips that come with it and attach them. I got one already attached up here, right next to the headliner. We can clip our cable in there to keep it nice and tidy. If you have a different setup, like a mirror here with like sensors and stuff, you can tuck the cord into that to be a little more tidy. But we're just going to go straight up, and then here we're just going to tuck this cable up underneath the headliner. There's actually room up in there for stuff to go, and this wire will tuck away up in there real nicely. Next, we're going to be crossing over here. You can use your pry tool to help get underneath this and pry it away to get that open so you can get your cable in there. I'm going to add one more adhesive tag here. One of these guys. There. Actually, I'm going to pull this off all the way down. I forget that this one, we got to run down this pillar here and then back into this pocket here. So we're going to take this whole pillar piece off if we can, just like that. And it should just pop off with the plastic clips, and that I think might be enough for me. Like that. All right, the sun was setting a little bit too quick on me here, so I had to bring in some artificial light. Sorry about any harsh shadows. Next, in my car, it could be different for yours, but most cars, I imagine, this whole panel right here just pops right off. There we go. Once it gets started, it's pretty easy. And then we're gonna feed our cord. So we fed it all the way down this pillar here, and then we're gonna feed it into here. And then this glove box should, you can see my finger there, they should just connect right through. So you can just feed your cable into your glove box. There we go. And all I got exposed is this tiny little piece of wire right there. That shouldn't cause any issues. Now is a good time to go through and do a little bit of cable management as you go. Figure out how much wire you actually need. And then from here, you're just gonna measure this to your cigarette lighter plug. And then you'll just tuck this guy in. If you'd like, you can actually tuck it up above your glove box here. There's a little bit of a lip up there. You could probably even use one of those clips to hold it all in place so that it doesn't fall out when you're driving. And now all we have is this one wire coming from our glove box going straight to our charging port. So that's going to be, you know, fairly tidy. If you really want, you can, you know, pin it up and out of the way and whatnot so you don't have to look at it or see it, or it doesn't obstruct things. You can do that however you want. In the next segment, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to wire the rear camera, and then we'll go ahead and do the hardwire kit. But I've run out of sunlight, and so we will see you tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and set up that rear camera now so that we can actually see what it's looking at before we mount it. So we'll take the end that looks like this and connect that to our dash cam up here, and then the end that's a right angle here, we're going to connect that to our dash cam in the back. So right here on the top, there's a USB-C port to run to our rear camera. We'll just plug it in like that, and then this cord will then tuck up in here later. But for now, I'm just going to wrap it around my rear view mirror so it doesn't get pulled off, and then take the rest of this and throw it in the back seat. All right, so on our little rear camera here, we have a USB-C port. We'll just go ahead and plug our angled piece in there. And we may end up having to switch it whichever way, but this is just to get an initial setup, and now we can run power to it. If you do not have this plugged in, and this is plugged into your dash cam in the front, it'll just power cycle over and over and over. It won't record because it's trying to connect to this camera because it sees a cable's connected to it, but it's not working. So it'll just keep rebooting the camera until you do. So now that we got everything connected, you can then turn the power back on to reconnect this camera here to the app so we can actually look at where this is going to be mounted for sure. Good grief. Okay, so One more thing I ran into is I didn't have the rear camera connected when I did the initial setup. So when I connected the rear camera, it deleted it from my app and I had to re-add it in the app. Rove, this is way too much work, bro. Now we can do the things we were here to do. Jeez Louise. All right, so this camera is adjustable and we're probably gonna mount it like that. If I bring it up here further to tuck it out of the way, I think I'm gonna go for that. Right there. So we're basically gonna mount this literally as high as we can. I don't know, hopefully that's enough. Well, I guess we're just gonna go for it. Let's go for it. First things first, clean the glass. All right, nice clean surface for us. All right, we're gonna go ahead and peel off our tab here, apply this right there. They say to use a credit card to get any bubbles out of your film. I'm just gonna use the owner's manual. I think we got them all. That looks pretty good. Now we're gonna do our placement again one more time here. That's probably as good as I'm gonna be able to do right there. Peel our 3M adhesive and apply. All right, so we got it adhered. We got everything all in place and happy. I think, I hope. I guess we'll figure it out here in a second. But now we can go ahead and start tucking this guy out of the way. There's this guy's got a lot of strength and support to it. So I'm gonna just start by tucking it in right here into our headliner. And then if I need additional support, we'll go ahead and break out our little clips we've been using all along the way here. And at this point, we can probably turn off the car and unplug the rest of our cable from the camera so that we can have it free for everything we need. All right, so now we're getting to the point where we want to get behind our panels here. And so I'm actually going to use one of these little guys here. And we're gonna apply it just up in the corner right here. And then I've pried this guy out and away already. You don't have to have it fully off, just away. And then tuck it in here like that so that it's not visible. You should be able to just pop that all back into place. Just like that. And now we can move on to this section here. So right here, our headliner is gonna be tight around these handles, but you can still get it out if you're careful. And then we can just tuck our cable up in here, just like that. And then get our seal back on top of it. And you'll never know, you can't even tell. All right, next we are right here on this section where we wanna pry this guy out. This one might be a little more difficult because of our seat belt here. There we go. Perfect. And you don't need a whole ton, just enough to get this guy tucked up in here, just like that. And then start tucking it in on the other side here. There we go. It's perfectly clean all the way along here. You can't even tell there's a wire running in there. Next, we're gonna cross this bridge here. This is gonna be more of a decision point here because I actually will tuck all of my excess wire in this pocket up here. So now we're gonna do just like we did in the back seat. Hopefully this different perspective gives you an idea of what we're doing. So we're just gonna pull back this rubber seal and then pull the headliner back to tuck our wire up in here. And then we're just tucking it up in here, just like that. And we want to pull this panel again to make that crossover, just like we did with the first front camera. And it's going to cross over our pillar here. And so we've pulled this away, and now we're going to cross over here to come across back to our camera there. I do not have a big truck or an SUV, so I don't need all this extra cable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna tuck it all up in here. So we got a ton of extra space up in here. This is a big hollow space. So I'm actually gonna pull this back to here, bundle it up, tuck it up in, and then just pull what I need to run to my dash camera over here. And then take that and just shove it up in there. Once you've run your wire in here, you can just put your finger on the weather stripping here, and that'll just do this, and that'll actually pull your headliner back into place. So running your finger there gives your headliner the space to tuck back in. You might just give it a little nudge, and then we can run over to here. Get all that clean and tucked in. And you'd never know there was anything up there. It's a little tricky to get it up there, but once you get it in there, just stuff it in there, and it's good to go. Our dash cam's all hooked up. We are ready to test this guy out. If you have questions about this or anything I've talked about in this video, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. And if you too think that the Rove R3 Dash Cam is right for you, I will have Amazon affiliate links down in the description of this video. I am an Amazon affiliate, so using those links do help to support this channel with no additional cost to you. So go ahead and click those links and do your Amazon shopping from there. Thank you so much for your support. If you enjoyed this video and you found it valuable, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. In a day of TikTok, Snapchats, knick-knack, paddywhack, thanks for giving this old dog a bone and watching this full-length video. I'll see you guys in the next one.